Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would talk to you a little bit about kind of how my days are, especially my weekdays. I get a lot of questions about, how do you do it all, being a practice owner, solo dentist, mom, and I do a lot of extracurricular things as well. Have this YouTube channel for one, and lecture for Align Tech. So actually recently Align Tech asked me to give a presentation on kind of the day in the life, it's called. So I'm going to be doing that for the dentist, but I thought for my YouTube channel it'd be nice if I shared with you some of the things that I do in my daily, weekly, I guess, routines that you might find interesting or might help answer some of those questions that I always get. So if you'd like to hear more, let's get started. So the very first part of a great routine, daily routine, and routine, I guess I'm going to use that word a lot because I have a very strict routine, and that is what helps get me by, because sometimes I'm forgetful or I just don't have time, and by having these routines, I have no time wasted. I've planned ahead. I've had many opportunities to kind of get everything in a row. So if I am running late or I am forgetting something, then my routines kind of help make up the difference. There's actually a book out now called Atomic Habits. I can't remember the author's name. Actually, it's a friend of mine who's reading it recently, and it's all about that. So our routines or habits, I think, is what is going to help. It helps me anyway be as successful as I am. But I think if anybody is looking to get into dentistry or is in any kind of career or life that they want to have a little bit less stress, I think routines and good habits are where it starts. So the very first thing about my morning routine is that it begins actually at night before I go to bed. And before I go to bed, I make sure that my water bottle's filled, my protein shake's filled, my lunch is sort of figured out. I know roughly what I'm going to have for breakfast. I may pre-make, overnight oats, something like that. I also have laid out my clothes for the day. So my workout clothes is in right there in the bathroom in the morning when I get up, ready to put on. I don't have to go fumbling, looking for my socks or looking for my, workout pants that might be in the dryer, all those things. I don't have to look for anything. Everything's laid out the night before. I know I'm going to have a good day when I've actually made the time to do that, and I am rarely miss that. So certainly clothes laid out, especially the workout clothes. My wardrobe for work is also generally laid out pretty close to what I'm going to be wearing, and so that just makes everything so much easier. When I get up, I have water right there ready to go. I grab my my Apple Watch, which is one of my new favorite things, and I really just start going through the paces. I don't have to think a whole lot. I will just again put my workout gear on. I've got my dog Charlie Chew, and he comes with me, and we'll either do a walk first or I'll do my workout first. So I always do walk my dog every morning. It's a way just to relax, and it's sometimes I'll run, but I generally will walk and stretch if he's stopping to smell a bush or whatever. But generally that's about, I can make up anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes for my walk, and then my workout's about 30 minutes. So all in all, I've put in, before I even begin work, about 45 minutes to 55 minutes worth of exercise and kind of some sort of, just me time. And I've found that's really helpful. I've gone through periods in the last few years where I've kind of got off track with that, and I really just noticed such a difference in my ability to perform, my ability to think well and be energetic and be positive and be able to lead a team of people. That is something that I have to do no matter what. So I can't get out of that. And so if I want the day to go well, I have to make the choice that I'm going to make sure I prepare the night before, and in the morning I'm ready to go, and I don't cheat on that. There's rarely a morning where I will not do my workout. I will always do my dog walk. That's not negotiable at all. It's just maybe a morning when I have something that I'm preparing for right after work or something, but generally I'll do that. Again, as I said, my meals are really important to me. You'll see me posting on my social media sometimes, like, my breakfast or whatever. I'm really excited about food. I think eating healthy and living a healthy lifestyle, although I'm not going to lie, I do eat badly just like everybody else. But I certainly try to make it up, and I try not to overdo it with anything. So, the old adage, everything in moderation, even moderation, it really goes a long way. And I think it sums up me. I, do have those moments where I, eat a whole bag of chips maybe or something like that. But the point is just thinking ahead and thinking about meals. I always feel better on that note when I plan on my Sunday. So before my week begins, I have a rough idea of what my supper meals are going to be for that week. So I'll I'll make sure that the food is all there in the fridge. My groceries are made. Everything is sort of plotted that way. So that's just one of those things that can cause a lot of stress. I have 2 young girls, and I don't want us to not know what we're having for supper at 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. So that has to all be planned and taken out the night before. If there's any food, anything needs to be thawed, and I'm really try to be pretty conscientious about what we're eating and really set an example. But also, again, like I say, I'm not perfect. I certainly eat lots of bad things too, but that is kind of how I plan, or how I feel like I get control of my days, and I don't have to worry about what I'm eating, and I feel energized, and I'm feel good about that. Now, one other thing about my morning routine is that I get up, I start my morning at 5 a.m. and I am not actually in the office until around 8 o'clock. So including my commute, I've got 3 hours to really spend time to kind of get my things going. After my workout, I will spend a little bit of time on my social media, about 15 minutes I allot for answering messages, going through my feed, engaging with other people. I may do a post, I'll do a couple of stories. Don't know if you're on Instagram, but certainly follow my Instagram, Dr. Peggy Bound. And I really, enjoy that. So that's just part of who I am. It isn't for everybody who wants to use social media, but I think it's really important that we, do what makes us feel good. And that makes me feel good. I take about 15 minutes for that. I have these little alarms that go off in the morning, and I find it keeps me on track. So if I get kind of like lost in the feed, and it's like there's an alarm that will kind of wake me up, like, okay, Peggy, on to the next thing. Now it's time to go get the girls up for school. It's time to eat your own breakfast. It's time to get ready. So these are the little tips and tricks that I've kind of adopted over time that will really help me kind of be ready for my day. So starting the morning super early, I get in the car, and somewhere in around, I've actually have a later start now to my days since the pandemic. I've really learned to realize like what I need and what I need to do for myself in order to be less stressed. And 2020, I made those goals for myself, and then the pandemic hit, and I really had time to actually put them into place. So I really think that, again, 2020 has been sort of a crazy year, but survival, and I've excelled better than I ever have because I've had the time to really think about what matters most to me and what I need in order to be successful. So getting up early, I get the kids up around 7. Get their breakfast, and then I will jump in the car around, I would say, about 7:45. So around 7:45, I try to beat the second school bus before my kids, their bus comes, and then I get out. So I'm at the office anywhere from around, like 5 after 8 to 10 after 8. I start my morning with going through a prep of my day. So my team will have a huddle in the morning. They'll look at like how the day is going to go, what they should be doing. They even celebrate wins from the day before. And then when I get here, I get kind of briefed on what happened in that meeting, what we will be doing for the day, where I need to be. One of the other great things that came out of the closure and then kind of getting back and wanting to be stronger and better was that I wanted my schedule to be less stressful. I wanted it to be productive. And because, of course, costs are up, I can't have as many patients at the clinic. So I really thought hard and long, and I did some work with a coach, Alan Lacourciere, with trying to figuring out how our scheduling can be more effective and efficient. And that has made a huge difference. I'm seeing big strides in the last few months as well. But always my schedule kind of roughly had a bit of a flow to it. And one of the things of that flow is that in the morning is where we're really hustling hard. I've got 2 restorative rooms that I go back and forth in between. And I really make sure that if there's an assistant on her own, or is a room that I'm not in. That assistant has lots of things she can do, and especially where we're an Invisalign clinic, we're a digital smile design clinic, we do a lot of records and documentation. So I have an assistant who does a lot of that on her own, and I'm not actually needed in the room. So I am zigzagging between two rooms, but I honestly do the bulk of the, the cosmetic, the endodontic, the restorative surgical work in one room, but the second room I can also do a lot of basic things as well, and I really get to enjoy seeing my Invisalign patients, as they go along in their journey. I have 3 hygienists, so you can imagine I have 2 restorative chairs and 3 hygienists, so I have to be really on my game, and this is again why I have to be, again, mentally, physically able to carry that out. So that's kind of how we run the day. The hygienist will tell me from the morning brief of the meeting where I need to be, when I should come in and do those exams. And if I have time, I'll jump in and do the exam before the hygienist finishes, because it might be better for me, because I may have a little bit of wait time in my own chair with, waiting for anesthetic. So I'll jump over, do the exam for the hygienist while I'm waiting for the anesthetic in my main chair. And that really makes a big difference, because they're not waiting, and no one likes to wait, and patients don't want to wait, and I don't want to feel like anybody has been waiting for me. So we really, again, run very hard in the morning to reach our goals. And by 1 o'clock, we've done, the bulk of the day. Although there is obviously the afternoon, it tends to not be as intense procedures. So my major cosmetic procedures or surgical procedures would all be in the morning. And then the afternoon, it's like a little bit less. There's shorter appointments. They're a little bit easier. Certainly a lot of consults and things like that. So that's typically how my day runs. Weekdays, on the evenings, I have 2 nights a week. I am in Taekwondo, so with my girls, they're actually a much higher belt than me, and they started that, and I wanted to join as a parent, and I am really enjoying that. So 2 nights a week, I spend about an hour and a half at the Taekwondo gym. It's just wonderful, because it gives me something I can do with my kids at least 2 nights a week. One other night of the week, on Tuesday nights usually, or it could be Thursday nights, we stay late, and I will do what's called virtual consults. So I will meet my patients online through, they'll set up an appointment through an appointment scheduler. We send out a link to our patients, and if they'd like to meet me and have a complimentary virtual consult, they can do that. I run about, anywhere from 3 to 5 of those in an evening, and it really helps me connect with new patients and get to know their problems, and helps me then guide them in what they need. So when they come in, I already have met them, they feel comfortable, and now we're going to get them right in for the type of appointment that they need or that they should have from the get-go, instead of going the long way around. Sometimes a patient already has a dentist and they just need to do something specific in our clinic because of the services that we provide. So we don't want to create this very difficult experience, but we also want to, I personally love just meeting people and really getting to know them in that one-on-one way from the comfort of their home. On Fridays, I am doing the fun stuff like this, which is, creating YouTube videos, creating more content for our marketing, and just catching up. Today I've been doing a lot of work with, treatment planning. A lot of my cases are very more complex, so we need to look back into the files and go over everything in a situation where I don't have people coming to me constantly, or having to get up and leave the room. So that's what I do on my 5th day, and that's pretty much it. Like, that's my week, and I do go to bed. I'm in bed by 9:30, lights out around 10:30, but yes, because I get up so early, sometimes as early as 4:30, then I really have to be in bed early. So that's pretty much it. I don't know if you found that interesting. I would love to hear feedback. If anybody, like to share what you do, or if you have any comments, or you'd like to hear anything more about anything that I touched on, I would love to hear from that. If you want to hear more and you would have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do so, and I will see you next time.